Hey, welcome everyone to Wizards Outlook. We got Cardo Dudley Jr. here, Raymond Lyons, Wilson Tarpe Jr., and a different type of vibe tonight. Kyle Kuzma scores 18 in the third as Washington snaps their 9-game skid with the 126-107 win over Detroit. Um, Also, just to keep things in perspective, both teams came into this game at 2-14. Somebody had to leave. Someone had to leave with their third win of the season. Washington did much important to Kyle Kuzma's big third quarter. Ray, we'll start with you and then Cardell. Your thoughts on them getting a win?
Um, yeah, I'd much rather them be on this side of the game than the alternative. Um, but yeah, man, you can only play who's in front of you at the moment, and they played the Pistons and they won. Simple as that. Kuzma, he was super aggressive tonight. Um, it was also good to see them down the stretch. They didn't give us a heart attack. They've been in this position before, where they went into the fourth quarter with a healthy lead, and they weren't able to sustain it. And I'm glad to see that was the case tonight. They continue to put their foot on the gas, and play under control, make good decisions, and defend. And they came away with the win. Still kind of struggled keeping them off the offensive glass. That's something they got to clean up. Um, I think it was they got a rebound on the offensive glass 18-6 tonight. Um, that can't continue to be the case. They got to figure something else out in that regard. I think we talked about it last game. Everybody's just got to be committed to crashing the board on defense, like no leaking out. you, you don't end the defensive possession until you get the basketball. So that's something they gotta sure up moving forward. But yeah, man, it's just not much to say, nothing to complain about really outside of that. Everybody contributed, and they were thankfully able to get off the skid. I think they said they hadn't won a game since November 8th. That's that's a long time, to be on the wrong side of the win loss column. So yeah, man, glad they got the win. Hopefully they can build some momentum off this. We talked about this road trip coming up the other day. They got to start stacking up some wins here. Glad they was able to start off on a positive note.
Cardell.
Yeah, Kuz pretty much won the game in the third quarter. Put on the show for the hometown fans. 30, 32, 12, and 8. He attacked mercilessly. He didn't shoot the ball well from deep, all from the field, but he was just aggressive. He made sure he was going to get points. He didn't settle, and those free throws were huge, man. They were a big difference in the game, and the fact that they hit them all 26 to 28, 92%. Um, it speaks volumes, and they kind of follow his lead because outside of his aggressiveness, I think the next guy was Poole, and he was 4 for 4 from the free throw line. You know what I mean? So it was good to see him not settling. I always felt like he's too talented to settle for a lot of those threes, even like 2 or 7. Like say all the time, you feeling it. So once he started missing a few, hey man, put your head down, get to the rim. I think he took advantage of the matchup with Isaiah Stewart. No disrespect to Isaiah Stewart, he's more equipped to guard bangers in the block and stuff. Not chase kind of hybrid fours who spend most of their time on the perimeter and break you down. He was jumping at threes, pump fakes. It was just a tough cover for him, and the Cougs took full advantage. And that third quarter is what they needed to separate. Yeah, and then once they separated, they did what a more veteran team should do. They took him out. Kuz in the third, he had 18 points and 7 rebounds and 3 assists and 7-11 from the field, man. I mean, that's what I mean. Like he pretty much won that game then. Um, K tried, but he didn't get off, and that defense held up, and that's something I don't think I've said the whole season. The defense held up when they needed it to. When they were surging on offense, their defense got enough stops where a separation could occur. And that's what it was. And then once we said on that 3-game stretch where they were competitive, 2 against the Bucks, and I think in the middle it was with Charlotte or somebody. With Charlotte, yeah, they closed. They actually finished. They closed the game. They won the fourth quarter, 32-24. You know what I mean? So it didn't just go away for that quarter. They had to surge, and then they allowed the Pistons to get back into it and either make a game of it or take the game. They actually did what they should do and won. And look, I'm not going to be negative. That's easy to do. We spent too much time being negative over the season, giving their props. They won this game because it could have easily went the other way. You know what I mean? So they know they're a notch up over those guys. Now try to put a string of wins together. That's how you're gonna get out of this hole. Like let's win 3 or 4 in a row. And if you draw one, get back on winning 3 or 4 in a row. And then you'll find yourself moving around 500. That should be their mentality moving forward, man. So, I think Gafford, who always fights for his life in the paint, but against the monsters, young monsters he had to deal with, and Duran and Wiseman, or Stewart, he was in there. He was battling, man. He had 4 blocks. I can't tell you how many other shots he altered, man. He was in there. He was doing what he got to do. He was using his athleticism, deflecting shots, taking the punishment. He was playing like a big supposed to. And he's a big reason why they shot 42% from deep. Also, the thing I love about the Wizards, gotta give props where it's due. We kill them when they play bad. We're gonna give them props when they get it done. Defensively, they kept them boys off the 3-point line. They ran them off, or they could contest it for the most part. It was somewhere typical Wizards. They just stood and watched and hope they missed. But they did enough to bother them. And Detroit shot 21%, man. You know what I mean? So they hit a few more, then it's a different game. That's the key. That's what I mean by the Wizards defensively. Look, y'all got to take something away. They can't get threes. They can't get mid-range. They can't get layups and dunks. They can't get to the free throw line, and you hope to win. Like, it's just not possible. You're giving everybody anything they want, you're going to get your ass whooped pretty much every night, and that's what's been happening. So, kudos to them, man, for playing their most well-rounded game, of the season. And I believe bench points, I think they won that as well. Yeah, they won that convincingly, 46-31. You know what I mean? So, and a lot of that has to do with Gallinari, and it was smart. Wes Unseld, give him credit, when they put Wiseman in, they put Gallinari in. So Wiseman will have to be on the perimeter. He's not in the paint. It frees other guys up to get there because he got to respect Gallinari's shooting. And whenever Gallinari had daylight, he let that thing fly. He was hitting. He had 16 points off the bench, 3 or 6 from deep. And that pretty much was Wiseman's night. And Wiseman was producing, but Monty couldn't have him on the floor because he can't guard on the perimeter. And that's something he got improving if he want to get more minutes, man, because you got to be able to get out there. There was a couple in transition where he was nowhere near. He just ran in the paint. And then he looking for his man and his Gallinari, and by the time he spotted Gallinari, the ball was already in there. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Molly, coaching like, yeah, just come sit with me, dog. See, that's why you don't get the minutes. So, just a veteran taking full advantage of his advantage. You know what I mean? Even though Wiseman, younger, far more athletic and bigger, man. Sham had been missing consistent off the benches. We're always got to give him, love, because even when they play bad, he's not one of the Wizards helping them lose. He's actually one of the more positive signs on the team throughout the season, more consistent guy since he's come back. So, all in all, man, just a good all-around win, and let's hope they can build on it.
Yeah, a little 2 cents to add on. You mentioned Gaff. Appreciate him tonight. We saw Duran was turning shots away at the rim for Detroit at a regular rate. Gaff was doing the same. I thought he did a great job, not only over the rim, in terms of protecting the rim, but there was a lot of times they were trying to get those pocket passes to their bigs, and he was poking that thing out a lot of times at start transition. He was just doing a solid job. Thought Denny did a good job in terms of getting downhill several times early in the game. I think that was before Kuz really got going in the third. You mentioned Gallo. Dude's been worth every penny so far. One of the few players you can say that about this year. He's been worth every penny for Washington. And then Ray mentioned the margin on the glass. Got punched in the offensive glass, but they were in the ballpark, which some nights we seen them not remotely in the ballpark in any regard on the glass at all. So several boxes were checked tonight. And like you mentioned, Cardell, how about that defense maintained? No 30-point quarters tonight. No 30-point quarters. I think you're muted.
Piggyback off your offensive rebound, and they did kill them on the board, but they only got 10 second chance points. And, they won it with 10-8. So even when they got the offensive rebound, the Wizards, they locked in and held up. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that has to do with what Gafford was doing inside and everything, where when they got second chance, they ain't get nothing. And even if when they kicked it out for a three, they was moving, they was rotating, they was contesting. So look, you gotta give them credit. Thing is, for us, just do this game in and game out, no matter the opponent. Even if they bomb you, they're not gonna sustain it if you're playing sound defense, because you're going to be there. They're gonna wear it down eventually, and they're not gonna hit those shots. And then it's your turn. Y'all know it's a game of runs. So the problem with the Wizards thus far this season is when they fight, and when the team go on a run, they just here we go, and then it's just over, and then the team is just kill them and take them out. They got to be able to be mentally tough doing those runs against the better teams, man, and just stay with it, and then they get their chance at their run, and then it's about executing down the stretch, and you'll be able to pull out your fair share of wins, man. So let's see if they can build on this, man.
For sure. Again, it's at the bottom of the screen. I think it's very, very obvious player the game was tonight. Who'd you guys have as the X factor?
That's tough. I'm gonna give it to Gav, man. Give it to Gav. What he was doing defensively, because he has some young monsters in the making in there, man. And he got beat up. He hit the ground more than once, getting smacked in the face, pushing the back. You know what I'm saying? He earned his money tonight, man. So, but without his presence, I don't think they won the game. Even with Kuz's explosion, I just don't think defensively they would have held up, because they were trying to punish him inside, because they weren't hitting threes. And with him in there and altering shots, like you said, poking away potential pocket passes for easy dunks and layup potentially, with him doing all that and getting his fair share of blocks, it saved a lot of possessions, man. So even when they had their cold spells, Detroit wasn't capitalizing. Like you said, 18 offensive rebounds, you only get 10 points out of that. They was getting in. They was holding up the Wizards, man, on defensively. So you gotta give them their props. But yeah, definitely he was the X factor.
Right.
Yeah, I was fighting between Gaff and Gallinari, but yeah, I think Cardell laid it out perfectly for making the case for Gaff, specifically because we've seen him in this position a few times where their defense just doesn't hold up, and it's cost them games. So for him to be the anchor on that end and really hold them down, man, that was definitely pivotal for them getting the win tonight.
Yeah, you count me in on that too, man. From the opening tip, Jalen Duren and Asar Thompson were trying to dunk everything all night long. There were multiple attempts on several possessions, as Cardell mentioned, to only get 10 points out of 18 offensive rebounds. Those kids were getting the ball off the glass and trying to hammer it right back through the basket all night. And that man was under attack and held up. Shout out, seriously, hell of a job by him tonight. He got another long night. Hope he gets some rest come Wednesday. We'll get to some of the comments. Did you guys have anything else for tonight's game? All right. Michael Kersey, what's going on, boss? Said they won. Oh my God, played a lotto. Followed up with a good way to respond after the other day against the Hawks, for sure. Much to what you guys mentioned. Kuz is how you need to play all the time.
Yeah, I like point forward Kuz. I like point forward Kuz, man, because it forces him to be in control. See what I'm saying? Like, he knows, I can't come out here and jack. It's like the bad kid in class. You give him extra responsibility and it keeps him under control, because he understands, I gotta handle my. It's just like that. That's what you get. You know what I'm saying? So, he's playing more under control. Come on, man. He had 32, 12, and 8 and 1 turnover. You feel what I'm saying? He was hooping, and I think out of the last 5 games, 4 of those games, he's been hooving around the triple-double. He's been killing that point for Kuz. And you can tell that's an adjustment that the coaching staff put in. It kind of started with that first game against the Bucks last week and whatnot, week and a half ago or last week or whatnot. So the only game he just played bad was against the Hawks. You know, when that thing was just they came in and just smacked him. But other than that, 4 out of the last 5 games, he's been putting up numbers like this, man. And they've been following his lead, so they got something with that, man. They just got to hold up defensively. And today was a positive sign where they're getting there because this team is young, they're athletic, they're versatile, and they're hungry. They just don't have the know-how. So this could have easily been a game where the Wizards could have blown it. They ain't got the energy to try to keep up with these young boys and stuff and all, you know what I'm saying? But they did it. They got the win. And sometimes you just need that first one. So the thing with them is just like I say, just go on the street, taking one game at a time, just try to pile up wins. And you start to do that. Like you put together a couple 4-game win streaks, all of a sudden, 8, you know what I'm saying? That's like 11 and 16. You see what I'm saying? It's different now. You know what I'm saying? You're like, all right, cool. Now let's get to 500. That's what you do, man. So that's how they gotta look at it right now, man. They can't look too far ahead, man, because that 3-14 record to be depressed, you're like, shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just human nature, man. But for sure, man, point for Kuz, it needs to stay.
Like you say, the challenge.
And
go ahead, Ray.
Now, I'm glad you mentioned the Bucks game because that's, for me personally, it's one of the more frustrating things about Kuz because it's not like he's beating up on bad teams. Like he has the talent and the ability to do this against whomever. Like, I mean, if you're doing it against Giannis, then I don't really see too much opposition for you. It's just he got to make it up in his mind to beat this guy more often than not. And I mean, and when he is, I feel like they always got a shot, man. And then, like you said, just hold up defensively, and they'll be in a good spot. But yeah, this one of them games where he need to review this film often because this where he's at his best, as opposed to just kind of being erratic and just playing and leaving things up to chance instead of being decisive and making things happen.
Yeah, as you guys mentioned, the challenge has been all season with most of the issues being consistently doing the right thing. That's been the challenge. We're getting little flashes here and there of you're capable of doing right. Will you? In back-to-back games. Courtesy says solid performance from everyone. Area 11T was going on. Solid win. Would like to see them play with the same intensity in the second half as the first. Denny looked good going downhill and drawing fouls. Like seeing him get to the basket, use his size and dunk it. He should do that more often.
He's been doing that the last few games, though. Like I said, what's been getting him in trouble is, like everybody else, the defense, and that's shocking for him. He's normally strong on that end, but when you get caught trying to cover 2 people because you don't trust the guy behind you, that's what happens, and that's probably what happened with him. But you just got to do your job and stay disciplined, and everything else will fall in place.
What's going on, Jamil? Gafford always fights for life in the paint.
Yeah, man. Being undersized, that's how it's gonna be, man.
He says that was his pick for the night as well, deservedly so. The Wiz don't put me. I have nothing to do with this team. Don't do that. That was a management issue. I didn't feel like dealing with it anymore. I have nothing to do with this. We're not doing that. And yes, Asar Thompson can fly. I thought he quietly had a really good game for Detroit tonight. Don't tie me into this, please. I haven't. Didn't feel like dealing with it anymore. Biggie Steve, as much as I want to say, yeah, we won. We're playing the second worst team. It's us, who Detroit now owns the first place spot. I think Detroit wanted to lose it more than Washington wanted to win it.
Nah, bro. When you get that many offensive rebounds, you try and win it. Like Monty and Jack and them boys over there, Troy Weaver, they not trying to lose on purpose, man. Trust me. They was talking about making the league before the season. Nah, it's easy to be negative and be pessimistic, man. You got to give props where it's due. We've been killing them all year. So when they get it done, you got to be man enough to give them their props when it's due. I don't care if it is against whatever, I guess now the worst team in the league. Because guess what? A few hours ago, they were tied with them as being one of the worst teams in the league. So it ain't like they at the top of the East beating the team they should be, man. You know what I'm saying? They right there with them. You know what I'm saying? So, it's been some ugly, historically ugly games, man. So they deserve their props when they get it, man.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that. Detroit's been trying to win. Like Cardell, like you said, they just don't know how. And it would have been worse. Can you imagine coming over here losing to a team that doesn't know how to win with vets? Yes, you should win this game. You needed to. Yes, you're down here with them. But it would have been way worse if Detroit got this done tonight.
And also, let's be real. How many? I'm asking y'all coming into this game. Were y'all confident that the Wizards would win this game?
What did beat Detroit?
No.
Tonight, yes.
Oh no, I was worried about the glass. I'm gonna keep it a buck. The fact they were within 5 on the glass, bro. I thought it was. You remember what Mark Williams and them did? I thought it was gonna be 60 something to 32 on the glass. I'm not lying. Totally serious.
Exactly my point. That's why you gotta give them props. Because it was not like a foregone conclusion. Yeah, they got that at least. No, we was not sure. So they're not only one, they done them damn near. So you gotta give them props tonight, man.
And like some of the things that, like the few things that Detroit has done well consistently this year, the things Washington has issues with. So yes, I was super worried. Mark Williams looked like prime Orlando Dwight Howard against them for a night, going crazy. Yeah, I was worried about what Jalen Duren and company was about to do in that paint. Shout out to Gav. Also, Detroit shooting 8 for 38 out the calls. They shot themselves the gym. Then Cardell touched on that too, like a little earlier. The defense was played tonight. Obviously, we're not talking about a top 5 defensive team, but it was played. There was separation. How many nights have we seen them go up on the team, the other team come right back? There's no separation.
Yeah. Again, Detroit, okay, they shot 8 of 38. You've seen the Wizards do that majority of the season too. Jack about 30-some threes and might hit 8. You see what I'm saying? And shoot themselves to a L. So again, it goes back. These teams were even. The Wizards proved they were better, at least tonight. You know what I'm saying? So you got to salute that.
And we appreciate you too, Biggie Steve. We definitely do.
Right.
Area 11 have y'all seen the Bud Carrington kid? What do y'all think about him? I have not, Cardell.
Well, of course.
Right?
And we have something coming on him very soon. I'll leave it at
that. And we appreciate y'all. Up next, they got 2 games with Orlando. See how this goes.
And if they get those 2, then the Wizards got something going. Because Orlando missed some things. Who they smacked 30? The Celtics?
They put hands on the Celtics last week. They put hands on Boston.
We try to tell y'all last year, them young boys.
I'll be ecstatic if they split them games.
Yep.
Yeah. And again, which speaks to what you were just mentioning a little while ago, Cardo. Nobody came in. I don't think any of us came in today like, oh man, Wizards chalk over Detroit. Nah, ain't nobody think that. Like, and Orlando's much better. And that's another big team. Orlando's huge.
I mean, yeah, no doubt, but we're a long way from draft time, man. A lot can happen. We don't even know who's going to be on the roster next year. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, let's say Bud was on the team now. Will he be playing in front of Poole and Tyus Jones? You see what I'm saying? Like, is this the best fit? You know, at this point with the state of the Wizards, yeah, it'd be dope if you got a local kid that's prime and can come in and help. That'd be dope, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people wanted Whitmore to play instead of, get drafted with the Wizards instead of Koulibaly. But, at the same time, the Wizards just need to get the best player they can to help them sustain and build up and, get back to the playoffs and be rumbling and have the city rocking once again. Like when John Wall and all those guys was doing their thing.
Yeah, like you said, Carter, man, we don't know what this roster look like in 2 months, let alone by the end of the year.
We don't even know Bud gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? Like it's way too early. It's just early in the season, man.
Biggie Steve said, I really think we should make a push for Jaden Ivey.
We Jaden Ivey have today. 15, solid. But is he gonna be a game changer? And who you gonna have to give up? So. And you pretty much got guards that can do what he do anyway. Maybe by committee, maybe not all, but like to me, DeLon Wright kind of his mode guy that can facilitate, defend, give you a few points and stuff like that. So I don't think he'll help. He's a quality player, but I don't think he'll help the Wizards get out this hole, man. It's just facts. They need some exceptional talent infusion in this roster, quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah, the type of thing you're looking for is one of them franchise setters, its own setters, and that's not a knock on Jaden Ivey, but that's not what that is.
And they ain't gonna have to draft because I doubt any free agents are looking at DC, especially until they make amends to a certain former franchise player.
Like you said, they want to build it up the old-fashioned way.
Ain't got no, yeah, but free agents ain't gonna come until they make amends. That's why Pop was tripping the other day about the Kawhi Leonard thing. It was self-serving. It was self-serving because he like, we got a lot of cap this summer. Y'all gonna piss people off.
Hey, people weren't trying to understand what he was doing. That's all people's reaction to it. I was like, bro, he's trying to make sure Wemby got some good teammates going for it. They're trying to accelerate this real quick.
Before Wemby be like, Pop, I love you, but I have to go. I have to get up out of here. Pop, like, I'm out. I'm retiring. I'm too old for this.
Hey, man, Pop talk about something. I guess we done. Not doing this game. I stay for you. Y'all have a great night. We appreciate y'all. Don't forget to check out the latest episode of Focus TV later this week on Roku channel. And then we'll see y'all Wednesday night after the first of 2 bouts with Orlando this week. Y'all have a good one.